Welcome into the Sunday Sports Frenzy. Final weekend of March, the NCAA men's tournament will soon be down to 8 teams, and Spring Grove's Eli Brooks and Michigan are still going. On the high school level, you can roll up the wrestling mats and put away the basketball rack. The winter sports season has come to an end. I'm Todd Sadowski, Andrew Kalista, Alex Cawley, and Lindsey Barner are all ready to spring forward. So let's get started with 30 minutes of local sports tonight on The Frenzy.
I just feel like I'm the most versatile player in this class.
He's been waiting to show off his skills once again on the football field. How Micah Parsons and his former teammates blow the NFL scouts away at Pro Day.
This gives these guys a great opportunity, if they can't make it to our games, to watch it on TV. So we're very excited. Like I said, it put a smile on my face, and I still got one on there.
Big week for Fox 43 and the Hershey Bears. VP of Hockey Operations Brian Helmer joins us for a Sunday sit-down. Why it made sense to partner up to air Bears games on our station. And it's a shining moment for Andrew Kalista as he refs the 3A Girls State Championship. Who else joins Andrew in our Frenzy 5? First, the Bears are on the ice, trying to cap a perfect week. And we are just past the midway point of the regular season now in the AHL. Bears play only 3 other opponents over the 36 games, and this week they're able to beat each and every one of them. Today's victory mirrors the one on Friday night in Wilkes-Barre. In Giant Center this afternoon, watch Brian Pinno's had himself a heck of a week. The timely deflection in front of the net less than a minute into the game. 3 goals, 3 assists since he joined the team again on Wednesday, sneaking in front of the goal at the same time as the shot from the point. Then the man wearing the C on his sweater, Matt Molson, delivers again with a power play goal. Same situation, breaks the tie, jams it in the net. And the Penn's goalie thinks it was covered up, counts. It's 2-1 Bears. Shane Gersich chases down the puck, slides it into the empty net. It's the final goal of a 3-1 margin. Count them up. That's 4 wins in a row, and the guys are playing very well in close games.
That's how you can tell if a team is truly good or not. You might not have your best stuff for 60 minutes, but you can grind it out at the end there to get a victory, and you've done a good job of that lately.
Playing in these games, it develops you. This is the American Hockey League to a T. When you're playing a hard, physical, tight game to where this is what prepares you to play at the next level.
Next up, road game at the Phantoms on Wednesday. And then after that, the Bears at home on Saturday at Giant Center, a game you could watch right here on Fox 43. The announcement comes earlier this week. Fox 43 will broadcast 6 upcoming Bears games on our main channel. Weekend afternoon games, 3 in April, 3 more in May.
To have more reach in central Pennsylvania than ever is something that we certainly desired, particularly with a lot of people not able to be here right now. Building holds 10,500. We have a little over 1,000 in here right now with social distance and COVID guidelines. We're excited to be able to bring games to TV and have a sense of normalcy for our fan base, feel like they're sitting in their seats here at Giant Center so they can get back to that down the road.
Going to be so much fun. Zach will handle his usual play-by-play duties. I'll be doing color commentary for the broadcast. Starts this Saturday, April 3rd at 1 o'clock. Wherever and however you see Fox 43, you can watch the Bears April 11th, April 17th, along with May 2nd, 8th, and the 15th.
Exciting times, isn't it? Spring practice for the Nittany Lions is like a mental vaccine for the lunatic Penn State fans that live and breathe everything Nittany Lion football. Trust me, I have some family members in that boat, and it's a busy time in State College. But before we get to the Lions that are leaving the den, we catch up with the ones that are still grooming their manes. Tight end Brenton Strange has huge shoes to fill with Pat Freiermuth off to the NFL. According to Strange, during the offseason, the Lions, they didn't have to look too far for motivation this spring.
Someone that hates to lose, that's definitely a motivator. Every day in the weight room, we would go in the weight room and we would see 0-5 on the board. So, I mean, if that doesn't motivate you to come out, try to get better every day.
Spring practices are key for Strange and the offense to get down the Mike Yurcich offense. On defense, senior corner Tariq Castro-Fields is back after taking some time to consider the NFL. After an injury-plagued year and missing his senior day, the work to get better literally starts with him being available.
Just got to be able to play full season and just show what I can do. Like, I have so much more in the tank, and I haven't been able to show it yet. So I'm just excited for this year. I'm excited for practice tomorrow.
Hopefully at the end of this campaign, we catch Tariq dancing off to the next level.
That's wide receiver fast.
Steelers' Mike Tomlin also said this is a freak show out here.
He's so good, in so many things we couldn't work him everywhere. Best cover guy, best rush guy, best at the second level.
Penn State's Pro Day brought representatives from 31 NFL teams to Happy Valley, and one of the prospects they wanted to see was Harrisburg's own Micah Parsons. Most experts anticipate the former Harrisburg Cougar being an early first-round pick. Parsons had a 34-inch vertical and a 4.39 40-yard dash.
And I'm going to just make plays happen as I did at Penn State and, show these guys why Penn State breathe the way we do.
Defensive end Jason Owe also turned heads with a stunning 4.36 40-yard dash, 21 bench press reps, and a 4.21 20-yard shuttle run. Owe and Parsons have been training together to get ready for this year's draft.
He has this thing where whoever goes first, the second person is always going to have a better time because they see what the other person's doing, so they got to take it up a notch.
Tight end Pat Fryermuth is still working his way back from surgery, so he didn't test everything, but he did run some routes for the scouts and coaches.
They wanted me to drop a little weight, so I weighed in at, I think 251 today, 252, so that's probably where I'm going to probably play at my rookie season.
Shaka Tony, Lamont Wade, Will Fries, Michael Mena, and Steven Gonzalez also showcased their skills on PSU's Pro Day.
Thanks, Alex. And speaking of those pro days, had an amazing opportunity to host a Zoom session with 4 legendary Nittany Lions players on Saturday. The Zoom to Cruise event was held to promote some Penn State events that benefit the Hope Gala. And the guys in attendance were all impressive. Were all in their day. Running backs Blair Thomas and Lydell Mitchell, wide receiver O.J. McDuffie, and linebacker Brandon Short, all part of this Zoom, and all of them enjoyed careers in the NFL. They were impressed with the recent performance of the current Nittany Lions.
They know these guys can play football, but now let's see how their measurables measure up to everybody else. And those measurables were off the charts. So you think about a guy like Micah, who's only played, and I heard him talk about 3 semesters of football at Penn State. He's barely been there. That's barely even getting it in, and he's out there. So that means how raw he is.
Catapulted, forward in terms of speed and agility. When I ran a 4.61, 4.59, and did 26 on the bench. So I was strong, but nowhere near as agile as these dudes.
Yeah, and the year Short was drafted was 2000. That's when Penn State had the first and second overall picks from the same defense. Courtney Brown, number 1, and LeVar Arrington, number 2. McDuffie was a first-round pick, 25th overall of the 1993 draft by the Miami Dolphins.
A rain out today, but tracks were able to get 2 great days of racing in. And a couple of drivers take the long haul to PA to learn a few things before their season kicks off. That's next in the Fast Lane. Welcome back to the Sunday Sports Frenzy. With the hopes of having a 3-race weekend, Invaders and All-Star drivers look to get some time in the seat in PA before their season kicks off. But first, I want to update you on late model driver Brian Bernheisel. After a scary crash at Williams Grove Friday night, he did have surgery this morning on a fracture in his neck. He's expected to be okay, but we wish him a speedy recovery. Friday night at the Grove, Justin Henderson, Sunshine Tyler Courtney, just to name a few, to take the long haul to PA. Super late model Heat 2 Rick Eckert saves himself from also barrel rolling. He takes the car into the pits. A laundry list of things happen to Danny Dietrich, but remember, this is a 30-minute show. I'm just gonna keep it as he fixes everything, takes Brett Shear's spot in the A-main and goes dead last to 9th. Peck was a half a second faster than the entire field. He leads it all for a second win in a row, but first career at the Grove.
We were free enough to be able to run up above the curb, but we were also tight enough that I could get down on the slick and pass race cars when I needed to.
Even the pup gets to celebrate in victory lane. With the scramble, Max Blair starts on the pole with the super late model feature. Side by side going to the white flag for second, but it was all Blair in this one as he pulls away for his first career victory at Williams Grove.
This is a sprint car place. We're in sprint car country. We know that, but sometimes they have real race cars here, so I'm glad we finally got to get a win.
Votes poured in from across the country. Port Royal Trial promoter Steve O'Neill was recognized as the Auto Racing Promoter of the Year. Well deserved. Skip to the A main heat winners. Dylan Sisney, Jeff Miller, and Pat Cannon lead the pack. With 17 to go, Macri shears the right rear right off. AJ Flick couldn't avoid him, hits the inside wall, and goes on his side. As Macri's tire continues down the track, a fire sparks for Flick. Logan Wagner runs over to make sure he gets out safely. 2 laps later, Miller catches the wall. His nose slams right into Kerry Madsen. The Madman has to go nearly an entire lap to replace the tire. All right, let's get her going back to green. The sun comes out for the final laps. Wagner charges 17th to 4th. It was all Sisney in this one for his 5th career win at Port.
We didn't really have the best car, but starting up front gave us enough track position to just hang on.
Gets to celebrate with the fam. On to the late model, 16 to go, 6-car pileup in turn 2. As we head back to green, check out this beautiful sunset. Rick Eckert challenges Jeff Ryan for the lead, but Ryan was too strong. He takes the feature.
I was just trying to stay smooth and steady and like I said, hit my marks and not even think about him behind me, but it's tough to do.
The final feature of the night, the limited lates, a couple spins early, coming to 2 laps to go. Another hometown kid, Devin Hart, gets a run on Ryan Zook. Hart goes from 8th to the checkered. At Lincoln, Jimmy Siegel passes the icebreaker champ Tim Waldman for his first trip back to victory lane since 2018. Siegel is the 5th different driver to win in the first 5 races at Lincoln. First race of the year for the Cluckletown kid, Ryan Smith wins the 360 feature at Bridgeport. More results from Baps Path Valley in the World of Outlaws on our website, fox43.com.
It's been a March Madness filled with upsets, but basketball fans near and far were hoping for one last upset. Unfortunately, Lampeter Strasburg grad Ryan Smith's battle with leukemia came to an end this past week. He was 21 years old, but his legacy is far from done. You wanted Ryan Smith on your team, or at the very least, you did not want him on the opposing team. He finished his Lampeter Strasburg career with more than 1,000 points, and between varsity and AAU, impressed college coaches, earning a shot at East Stroudsburg, where he was named the PSAC East Freshman of the Year. It was after his freshman season that Ryan was first diagnosed with leukemia, and like so many that he helped up along the way, they were now ready to have his back.
I got a lot of support in high school, especially a lot of this is just the LS community.
In 2019, student sections across the Lake Leb wore orange in support of Ryan. Millersville University hosted a doubleheader against East Stroudsburg, with all proceeds going towards Ryan's medical costs.
Just to see the community come together like this, I'm just so grateful that so many people care.
In the past few months, when Ryan's leukemia returned, Smith's strong and relentless shirts returned to the high school courts Ryan once played on. And during the month where Ryan's favorite sport takes center stage, the game made sure to include him.
And there's a young kid I met, a really young kid I met a couple years ago named Ryan Smith up in Philly. My thoughts and prayers to his family. While Ryan is no longer with us, his legacy and drive will be felt and carried on by those who learned from the best. When the Sunday Sports Frenzy returns, the Hershey Bears have made it 4 wins in a row as we inch closer to their Fox 43 broadcast debut. Brian Helmer joins us on the Sunday Sit-Down coming up next.
They've been playing hockey in Chocolatetown for over 80 years. This Saturday, April 3rd, Fox 43 becomes part of the Hershey Bears' rich history by broadcasting the first of 6 games this spring live from Giants Center. And this week's Sunday Sit-Down, I dive into a few more of the details.
So I'm pleased to be joined by the Vice President of Hockey Operations and a Calder Cup champion, of course, Brian Helmer with the Bears. Okay, first off, Brian, I'll start here. When Fish comes back to you and says, all right, I think we're working on a deal, and he says to you, we might have 6 games on the main channel. What was your reaction to the sheer amount? Because I know when our GM proposed 6 games, I was like, this is fantastic.
Yeah, it definitely put a smile on my face, that's for sure. I know Fish and yourself, Todd, worked really hard to get this done, and we're very, very proud to partner with Fox 43 and get the Hershey Bears games out to the community. And I know it's an interesting year and a weird year, and I know there's not a lot of fans in our building, and I wish there was. I wish there was 10,500 people every night, but there's obviously not. So this gives these guys a great opportunity, if they can't make it to our games, to watch it on TV. So we're very excited. Like I said, it put a smile on my face, and I still got one on there.
You said the word unique year. Man, that's an understatement, isn't it? Just everything's different. But for us, it gave us the opportunity, as you look at your start times, and then we look at our program schedule and say, hey, some of these start times really slide in nicely. You know, the Saturday 7s, the Sunday 5s, Friday 7s during a regular season don't always work for broadcast quite as well. But these really worked out well to be weekend games, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock, however that worked out for the sheer volume to have this number of games on.
Yeah, it's again, it's unique. Usually we don't have those times, but I know when we were going over the schedule, and you know, why not try these times? And if we get some fans back in the stands for these times, you know, maybe they like it. Maybe we get some great feedback, and maybe we can put them in for next year too. You never know. So it's something that you know, we're glad that we could do this, but also it gives us an opportunity to see how the fans are going to react to those times. I know as a hockey player and as a staff downstairs, and the staff that comes to the rink to work the games love getting home on a Saturday afternoon after a game, especially after a win too. So I know there's lots of positives, but again, we have to look at how things are doing in other spots too.
So you're stuck with me as the color commentator on television with Zach. But as we were talking before we got this started, you know, the diehards, all the Bears fans, obviously very excited about the deal. They're going to be watching. So for TV, it gives you an opportunity to bring in others that may not have either experienced the Bears, hockey in general, or just get a chance to sample what's going on. So why is that important for television, and how can the visual element help bring that along and you know, translate to someone that's more of a casual fan or someone that's checking it out?
Just to watch how fast it looks on the TV, and if you think it looks fast on TV, it's that much faster live too. So you know, obviously the entertainment part of it, just to see these guys get out there on their skates and hit and make some great plays, and the excitement that I know that yourself and Fish are going to bring to the broadcast, it's just going to be so much excitement. And if you like it on TV, I always tell people it's even better live. So just to, again, you know, we're very proud to partner with you guys to get our game back out there, and to let our fans that obviously can't come to the rink, the Giants Center, are going to get to see us on TV, and looking forward to those 6 games.
Yeah, big thanks to Brian for his time. Can't wait for the puck to drop on Saturday. If you want to see or share our Sunday sit down or any other story, make sure you visit our Frenzy website at fox43.com/frenzy. Still to come, Kalista in complete control takes the floor at Giants Center for the girls 3A state championship. It's part of our Frenzy 5 memorable moments when we come back. Welcome back. Andrew Kalista is part of our Frenzy 5 each week, but this one's a little special. We catch him doing some of his finest work, and it has nothing to do with reporting. So Andrew's big day is going to wrap up our Frenzy 5.
The Tokyo Olympics are still trying to solidify their plans, but potential Olympians aren't waiting around. Kennerdale grad Chance Marsteller is looking to lock up a spot with Team USA. Marsteller cruised through the last chance qualifiers, racking up 5 wins and never gave up a single point against him. He'll now head to the team trials in Fort Worth, Texas next weekend.
For my Frenzy 5, the pressure was on for Shippensburg University's baseball team, trailing by 1 in the final inning. Leave it to Juju Kaysen, arm in the air, walk-off 2-run home run for the Raiders. Best part, the celebration at home plate.
4 months ago, the Reading School Board announced they were suspending all extracurriculars. The boys basketball team pleaded for the chance to play. Eventually, the board gave them a shot, and Reading ran with it. Fast forward to this weekend, and the Red Knights pulled off the 58-57 win over previously unbeaten Archbishop Wood in the 6A state title game.
You love seeing friends have success, and one of our friends here at Fox 43 is former Hershey Bears media coordinator Matt Truss. This week, Matt's radio call for the ECHL Greenville Swamp Rabbits went national.
Boom! Rock'em, sock'em shots. A right hand by Jardine. Jardine with another right.
For the record, as a child of the 90s, I love the reference of Rock'em Sock'em Fighters. Nobody's head popped off, so that's always good. Matt, great job. Can't wait for these moments to air on Fox 43 with our broadcast agreement that was announced this past week with the Hershey Bears.
And finally, talk about a guy committed to making a positive impact on local sports. Not only does he crush it as a sports reporter for us, here's Andrew at tip-off, reffing the PIAA 3A Girls State Championship between West Catholic and Mohawk. He works the game on no sleep because he was so excited, but he was sharp, decisive, and deceptively quick. There's a reason Andrew was assigned the state title game. He cares, and he's really, really good. Congrats. Can't wait to see you do it again. Yeah, next thing you know, we're going to see Lindsey Barna behind the wheel of a 410 sprint car. That's going to wrap up this edition of the Sunday Sports Frenzy. Thanks so much for watching. If you'd like to see or share any of our stories, make sure you check out our website at fox43.com/frenzy. For Andrew, Lindsey, and Alex, I'm Todd Sadowski. We'll see you next time.